Welcome, guys, to today's senior matchup between Akuma Blades versus Omega Titans Esports Aries. We are going to be underway here in draft here shortly, unless we already are. Oh, it's a new draft link. Whoop, my bad, I was on the wrong one. We have Fiora, Swain, and Viego going to be already banned away for Akuma, and OMT going to be banning away Graves and Varus. Still waiting on that first ban in the last rotation. I am once again joined on the desk by TDS. TDS, how you doing tonight, man?
Dab. I'm doing really good.
I guess.
Yeah. Really excited with this game, especially with the upswing that Akuma Blades has been having recently. So I feel like they are slowly but surely getting to the point that everyone, Red and PDS specifically, thought at the start of the season they were going to be. And on the other side, it's OMT Aries that want to have revenge, kind of, because of their one loss that they have. So they want to get back on track winning and get back into the winning mentality and try and secure first place if possible.
Yeah, we actually just saw them lose last week, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was last week, and I gotta say, it was a shellacking. It was a one-sided murder spree,
yeah.
If I remember correctly. And OMT, for lack of a better way to say it, really looked like they weren't an undefeated team. So I definitely expect them to come back hungry and try to reestablish dominance after what happened last week, for sure.
Yeah, specifically because one series can happen to everyone. It's one bad series just now, so they can perfectly just bounce back and get back into the groove of playing well. It would be worrying if it repeats against Akuma Blades. I feel like that would be the worrying point, but they still have chance to go back into it. And I feel like going with champions like the Lee Sin and the Kali that they just first pick in the first two picks, it's perfectly great because it shows that they want to play confidently. They want to go for plays, they want to go in, they are not going to try and play the skirt, and that's a really good way to try and get back into the idea of playing dominantly.
I agree, and I mean technically that Lee Sin could still be a flex top lane as well, with the Akali being sent mid, so we don't quite know where that Lee Sin's going, but man, oh man, I love to see good Lee Sin players in this game. So Thresh is also going to be picked up, and Tristana is actually going to be the final pickup here. So what do you think about teams putting agency onto Tristana recently?
Tristana, the thing with Tristana is because of what happened with the rune. I always forget the name of the rune. It's the 3-attack one that it's on the domination side.
Oh, you're talking about Hail of Blades.
Yeah, Hail of Blades, precisely that one. The nerf that Hail of Blades took kind of affected the champions that were proficient on them, with the exception of Varus to some degree, because Varus just used it to try and win trades. It wasn't that huge actually getting it. Tristana was affected a little bit by it, as well as Kai'Sa, but Tristana is still a really nice early carry to try and go all in with bot lanes, and it's really good against squishy bot laners that don't want to fight really early on. So for example, Aphelios, Kai'Sa, and Ezreal are champions that would be really nice to have the Tristana going in, because it's kind of easy to get on top of them, and it's easy to explode them as well. Ezreal will be a little bit hard because of the Arcane Shift, but you can still pull it off as well. But Tristana, I think against the Aphelios Thresh, if she is careful enough about the Thresh, and you have a really nice engaged support in the form of the Rel is an option, Nautilus is banned, but Leona can also be played, and try and burst the Aphelios really early on. That's a really nice way to go with the Tristana. And I feel like also with champions like Lee Sin and Akali that are really aggressive, Tristana can have a space in teamfights to try and play it around. Whoa, it's crank. Okay.
Oh, they do lock it in.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a second because I figured there's no way they run with that, but they're gonna run with the Blitzcrank. I did not see that coming.
I don't expect it either, but I'm okay with it to some degree. The problem is that, like, you know that the Blitzcrank hook mainly works that you can attract people into you, but you have champions that want to go into them with the Akali and the Lee Sin. So it's kind of counterintuitive already to have the Blitzcrank, but maybe you can try and play around that with the Tristana to not make her commit her rocket jump without actually having to, which is an okay play, but also the rocket jump is kind of used as well in the combo of Tristana. So already the bot lane alone kind of scares me for OMT specifically, because it can be really disjointed, and if they are not working 100% together, it can fail miserably.
Right. No, absolutely. And not only that, but it's just like there's just I mean, okay, so you have Blitzcrank and a Thresh in the bot lane. If you grab the Thresh and Thresh is not behind, he is going to ruin your entire engage
Yeah,
without being
so
able
much.
to do anything. Like there's nothing you'd be able to do in retaliation with that. So it can be it definitely has the opportunity to be very, very problematic for OMT if they're not careful here.
Yeah, and now with that last pick Aatrox, it just screams to me that they want to go in. Like, you see their whole composition and you pretty much expect them to want to go in, but the Soul Blitzcrank pick kind of goes so away from that idea, which makes me think that even though I understand why you don't want to pick Leona against Thresh specifically, I think that Leona is way better because at least it stays with the theme of the team composition and you have a complete idea and a whole idea to try and go in together. But now, because you have one pick that is so out of position, a composition like this that is so reliant on getting far ahead can just fall over because one pick doesn't actually fall into place. If you don't have your whole team committing and if this crank doesn't actually achieve anything by going in with the rest of the team or getting a meaningful pool, it's so counterintuitive for OMT, which it's something that AKM in comparison really want, because AKM just needs to fight from afar a little bit, wait for the side of OMT to overcommit or not be ready for a fight, and AKM can just wait and win. Like Xinjiao, Gangplank, Aphelios don't need to overcommit themselves, but can go in if they want to. And they have a composition that can work towards their strengths, especially controlling certain areas of the map, like the Baron and Dragon Pit, or choke points inside of the jungle to try and win fights.
Absolutely, and yeah, we talked about a little bit about different styles of play, but which side, or excuse me, not which side, but how do you think these two team comps are going to be fighting once the mid to the late game happens? Do you think it's going to be a 5v5, or do you think it's going to be a 4-1 split push? How do you think these team fights or these team comps are going to play it out?
Well, OMT has a nice 1-3-1 because of the Akali and the Aatrox. Those are two champions that can perfectly just be left alone on the side lanes, and they can try and force things. Aatrox, at least before 25 minutes, I think, shouldn't have any problem against GP. If GP doesn't die before that time, then he should be able to answer later on, but Aatrox can win that side lane before 25 minutes. The Akali and the Blank matchup is much more equal, to say the least. Like, there's more chance for either of those champions to try and outplay each other, but you have a chance to win if you are the Akali or the Lang. So there's at least a contester, and on the mid lane with the Blitzcrank pick, you can try and pull something up. So you at least have that idea to pull that 1-3-1 and try and get picks, get silent control, and then secure what is called ward, so that you can pull off flanks with the Aatrox and Akali. If you're able to get the control on the silence, and then you can move that into vision control for the objectives, and Akali and Aatrox can play around them flanking the enemy team, then they should have a really nice way to get on top of the Aphelios and on top of the Gangplank and try and win fights. If they can do these steps and try and do that, OMT should have a possibility and a clear idea on how to win the game. AKM has to do the contrary. They just need to survive at least after 25 minutes, and after that, Gangplank becomes much more of a problem. He can begin winning the side lane, and he can begin controlling the objectives much more easily with the Barons. And Aphelios, as well as a champion that will scale after 25 minutes better, will have more access to more items, which will make him even more stronger and be able to survive even burst from Akali and Aatrox if he as the itemizes correctly as well.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think that the Aatrox has a little bit more agency in the late game than you're giving him credit for. However, that also depends on the build in which Aatrox goes. So it's just such a difficult call to make this early, I think, because that matchup can be very, very volatile. So yeah. I'm excited to see how that matchup will turn out. How do you think that the... Man, I know we already talked about it, but man, I just want to bring it back. This Blitzcrank...
I'm okay with it, yeah.
I like it, don't get me wrong, but you just, like, not press Q during lane phase? Like...
Yeah, that's the thing. As an isolated pick, yeah, like, one can see the advantages of Blitzcrank, and as an isolated pick, it actually kind of feels well enough to try and pull it up. I feel like it's one of the champions that gets overlooked in the meta a lot with Braum, because I feel those two champions can get a lot of work, and Taric as well to some degree. Those are champions that can get work, but people don't tend to pick them up. But you also have to consider what your bot lane partner wants to do and what your composition wants to do. Like
Right.
that's why I also feel like even though Leona feels bad against Thresh alone, in reality, with Nautilus ban and Rel not being that strong, Leona with this composition as a whole becomes much more good, because at least you have 5 members committing towards going in and trying to get something. And I feel that's the whole idea out of the composition, and Blitzcrank just feels way too separated from that whole idea and doesn't feel that good. Like, it's not only the bot lane matchup that you don't wanna hook the Thresh, so you have to try really hard to get the Aphelios, but even then, Thresh can to some degrees make the Aphelios survive if he's good enough to play around the hook as well. So you shouldn't get that much of an advantage out of that alone. And then in teamfights, if you hook the Thresh, if you hook the Xin Zhao, if you hook one of those two champions, I feel like you can just make your teamfight much more worse than it should be. And you cannot bet on getting the LeBlanc that has a dash, the Aphelios that even though can die, I would expect that he's taking cleanse, so he shouldn't be that much susceptible to this, and the Gangplank that has an innate cleanse as well. So it's going to be hard to have a good target.
Yeah, I actually completely agree with that. Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. But without further ado, guys, we are going to be getting into we're going to actually get into the game here in just a minute. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty guys, welcome back to today's senior class matchup between Akuma Blades and Titan Esports Aries. And Omega Titan Esports Aries actually they pinged out a path here, so I'm assuming we're going to see a level 1 shenanigans fight here with the Blitzcrank. I don't know about you, but whenever I see a Blitzcrank, I expect them to 5-man in, and they do.
No.
There's the ward, they know, and they are immediately going to back off.
And the idea
Wards all
wasn't
around.
bad. I like the idea because they went for a path towards the first entrance to the jungle, because most Blitzcranks goes towards the Tribush on bot lane. But I feel like that's the most common play, so going for an alternative seemed like the best. But I think if Tristana doesn't show, maybe they can bait someone, but it's a nice ward from the Thresh to prevent that from happening.
Absolutely. And I don't know. I don't realistically think that they could have done a whole lot about that. I mean, they got warded up immediately, and on top of that, it's like now Yorishiku's red buff is warded on top of it for free. So
like, it's a Blitzcrank, so I feel like most people should know what to expect with that.
Exactly.
Alone.
The only which is, it's always funny. It's funny because it's always topside too, or it's always it's always bot side invades. It's never top side. So I feel like if you are going to invade with the Blitzcrank, to try to get some form of advantage with that, you're gonna have to invade through the top side.
Yeah, you have to be really creative with that.
Oh, here comes No Flame top brain. Gonna be getting a little bit of free damage using that trial by fire coming through.
And already a lot of pressure from each of the lanes. Like the only
Split hook goes right onto Thresh, which level 1 is probably about the only time that you should, or that you can do that without having any kind of punishment.
Yeah. And especially because they have also a lot of control over the wave. So if you hook him on top of the minions, you can take a lot of punishment, not only from the champions but from the minions as well at level 1. So it's a nice little trait to get and a small advantage over.
Hook is coming through and does land onto the Thresh again, but here comes the Flay and here comes the Flash and the Hook, and that's going to be immediately for I'm Berkai. I think if he would have just hooked instantly, I'm Berkai would have gotten sucked under tower for a tower shot or two. So I think
did he went for Tristana for Blitzcrank with the hook? I think it wasn't decided on the target.
Blitz flashed away. They were just too grouped.
Okay.
So Blitz flashed away and Tristana just barely walked away from it. But even still, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think you go for the free hook there, and it's fine.
I think it's an okay trade. Like you're saying, you probably can get more, but overall it's a nice trade. You get more summoners. Like you can see, Blitzcrank had to blow a Ignite and Flash.
Gonna come through, but Brush goes through. Tower shot also going through, and Imberkai gonna go down. Brush with a great hook on into Imberkai, and Imberkai just not respecting the Thresh at all there under tower, and
he's competing way too hard for those hooks.
Goes down.
Yeah, he's competing way too hard for those hooks. But because of the Lee Sin there, I can see why you would want to hit the hook. But as soon as they fail, they still are in such a bad position that Brush can take advantage of fully with the hook. Really nice hook, and that Ignite that Thresh didn't have to blow up, and the Blitzcrank had to blow both summoners, so it gives the extra little damage to actually take the kill and get the first blood on the side of Akuma Blades.
What do you think of this mid lane matchup? Because it should be very bully intensive in favor of Fluke, but here we'll talk about it in a second, because here comes the Sonic Wave. It is going to land onto Fluke. Fluke is going to be getting engaged on. The chains are returning, and Hex Mist is going to be able to go in onto Yoroshiku. The flash away, interestingly enough. Oh, he actually hits it. He's going to go.
Really well done. Okay, wait.
Fluke is going to have the Ignite and get burned away for 1-for-1, and that is a great hook. Not going to be able to buffer it properly, as Flyer just went in try to use that Buster Shot, or Rocket Jump, excuse me. Rocket Jump a little too early there. Didn't buffer it properly and got yoinked back.
She got yoinked?
Well, she got yoinked right out of her jump, man. Like,
it's just that it sounds so funny.
On the root, Flyer 666 almost going down, but not quite. Still has the heal as well.
Yeah, and in bot lane we're still seeing so many trades going favorable for AKM there. The hook, even though it connects on the Thresh, and it's not valuable enough. The Thresh can just use the Flay and gets way more value out of that than in comparison to what the Blitzcrank gets. And then going into the mid lane play, you were going to say that you were asking me about how I felt with that matchup. Although wait, okay, yeah, who goes wide? You were asking me how I felt about that matchup, and like you were saying, because the Blank has range, she can poke way more towards the Akali and should take more advantage. And the Akali is not running flash, so if the Xinjiao is always in close proximity and you hit a chain, the Akali should be dead. And then going back into the kill that they got on the Lee Sin, it was greatly played by Hexmist because he waited until the last moment to use the E. Oh wait, it's
Finally
fine.
landed onto him, but here comes the flow. Oh my gosh,
They
the
can
lane
do
went
anything.
away instantly.
And they committed Ignite again.
And Hex is going to be going onto Yoroshiku again and level up, and Yoroshiku is going to be taking a lot of damage. Can't
Doesn't
do
have
anything
flash.
here. Can't get over the wall. Goes to Sonic Wave to Brush, and Brush, or Brash, whatever his name is.
Brush.
It's just Bursh. There is no vowel there.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
just
I
Bursh.
agree. Brush. Let's just go
We're
Brush.
both wrong. It's Bursh. Hook is going to go a little wide as Iron Berkai hits the speed up. Ooh. Can hit that minion.
Whose hook goes wide first? I think that's the game we're going to play from now on.
Hookers just like to go after each other, you know, professional courtesy and all.
Yeah, they won't go for AD carries. They are going to show who the best hooker is, and that's all that matters.
Oh man.
They're playing on mid lane.
Sleepyhead is going to be going back in, but it's going to be immediately rooted. Going to get knocked.
She's dead?
Does he not realize how that tether works? For those of you that don't, well, I'll talk about it in a second. As the Andrew is going to be going in onto No Brain Top Flame, or No Flame Top Brain, and no Brain. Oh, that's me. Here comes the engagement in top lane. There's going to be 3 people going for Danger, and Danger is in danger here, as they are cutting the wave. 1 minion is all it's going to be, as Hexmist going to be instant engagement on a Hexmist. Here comes the ultimate as well. Danger is going to be going forward, and that's going to be the kill
flash
to Jin Zhao. Yoroshiku going through as one last auto attack from the tower. Not going to go through. Sonic Wave not available yet, as go to the parlay.
I think that's ulti.
Going in as Thresh is here, but going back on a No Flame top range. Top range is going to be able to get a lantern out, and that's disgusting.
He didn't get the kill.
He survived. Sleepyhead is trying to go through, but he does get slow. And oh my lord. It ended up only being 1 for 1.
I think it was a 2 for 1 because Lee Sin died, right?
Oh, you're right. Lee Sin died too. Yeah, it's 2 for 1. Fluke is. Oh,
Wee.
Knight comes through anyways, and Sleepyhead takes him down. Here comes the teleport now from GP, and Sleepyhead is going to be in big trouble. The barrel's coming through. They know where Sleepyhead is, but he isn't going to be able to hit it with the auto attacks here. Going to be able to try to escape as the cooldowns are coming. No, she's going to escape for now. The Ignite not coming through. Going to be the extended 2 for 2 trade. But now Flyer is actually getting engaged on because Keyboarder is going to be a level up, and oh my gosh, those chakrams are so freaking strong, just absolutely decimating Flyer 6 in the bottom.
Yeah, the 1v1, you can nerf those, but the 1v1 will be better for affiliates if you have those 2 combination of weapons. And then going for the play on top lane, it was a really nice thought out dive, but as soon as level 6 was hit by Danger, he commits towards the play, and they go on top of the Xinjiao. I really like that they committed for that, and luckily they were able to get a trade kill on that, because it could have been way worse, because as soon as the Akali missed the play, and I feel it was because of her greediness, because she didn't commit to the LeBlanc, and because of that, she left her escape with a little bit of health, and the other 2 members could escape. Also, huge shoutouts to Brush, because he was there at the moment of away Danger.
No Flame top brain, almost getting soloed by Danger there. He had to flash away. Took a lot of damage.
Yeah. You can get, if you get hit once by any of the knockups by the Aatrox, you get set up so easily to get just chunked down.
Absolutely. And Keyboarder, here comes the engage. Brush is, ooh, Rocket Jump is going to go through this time. Dragon Strike from Yoroshiku is going to be available, but the roam down, not going to be spotted out, but they smelt something, so they are going to be able to back off for free.
Yeah, they're playing really respectful, and they don't need to commit anything because the wave will go towards them. Oh wait, that was close.
The hooks, man, and here comes the lantern. The flay is going to land on an Ironbarkai, the instant slow, and the hook under tower. This is going to be
Counter
great.
hook.
Ultimate is going to be able to knock away Flyer. Flyer is going to rocket jump into a very questionable place. Not sure what he gains from that, but he
Style points.
I,
That's about it.
sure what kind of style he was going for there, but looks like
I don't know either, but it was nice to see. Like I'll leave it at that. It was a nice play to go for, and I like that Brush was setting up for that. But as soon as when he doesn't have the hook, he has to commit way too much to try and get the flay. Kali is setting
Sleepy
up here.
over the wall though.
They should know. They have vision. So if
Danger
Akali
going
does
in
it, they know.
Flame and O'Brien, a little auto attack trade there, doing a little bit of damage, and Sleepyhead going back, but it is going to be pinged out. LeBlanc and Jin.
Oh! That was close.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Itrox. Danger.
And you're gonna try to run down No Flame Top Brain, but didn't work out for him.
A little bit too much commitment there. Sleepyhead getting a little bit of a trade, but it's not that huge. I also want to point out something quickly. Xinjiao went for shield bow. I'm not sure if that's the best build for him actually. Oh wait.
I'm not sure. No Flame Top Brain gonna be brought very, very low. Danger gonna be skirting the edge there of the GP ultimate.
I don't like that ultimate too much. You don't get really anything, and even in a 1v1, it's not actually that much what you get out of the ultimate. Maybe the slow, and that's about it. I feel like you could have used the ultimate in another place around the map, and that would be more worth.
Well, I think if he doesn't get the slow, he dies, is the problem. Here comes the Rift Herald coming through. Here comes the kickback. Great kickback. Here comes some Sonic Wave as well. And oh my gosh, Danger picks up the kill. And Danger just clobbering No Flame Top Brain right now.
And that feels like the best play to go for, just because the bot lane isn't going that well and mid lane is kind of a toss-up in terms of what you can achieve. So going for the top lane, that it's probably the strongest right now. Oh no, she missed the AE actually.
So Sleepyhead is going to be very, very low. Fluke gonna not engage him, not gonna overcommit for Sleepyhead there. Also, I think ganking top lane onto this GP is fine. Actually, you've got a pretty mobile champion with Lee Sin and Aatrox, so ganking onto a Lee Sin, or onto a GP is actually relatively easy, to be perfectly honest.
And I think with the Aatrox, it's probably the best lane to try and fed. I feel like if you're going to commit to feeding someone right now, the Aatrox should be a really high priority, because I think like if he's ahead, he can go into the backline and try and destroy someone. And I feel like that's something that you can bank on.
And not only that, normally when you gank a lane, you want to make sure you have like agency in the lane, or you have some sort of gank assist. But GP usually nullifies that with remove Scurvy. However, Aatrox has 4 knockups because that tether counts as a knockup as well. So when you have knockups that remove Scurvy doesn't help with,
cancel.
It becomes much more difficult to play around. And here comes the engage. They're actually going to be rocket jumping forward. Brush is going to be able to go through, but here comes the instant engage on the
counter.
And Flyer's actually going to have to try to get his way out. Sonic Wave landing onto... Oh my gosh.
What?
Yoroshiku just ran it there. And here comes Akali off the backside. Flower. Oh my gosh, a great flash! It was stylish as hell. The flash from Hexmist, man. That was so cool to watch.
Yeah, Tristana, take notes. That's how you do a set display. Oh, wait.
Able to flay back, and here comes the tether. We didn't talk about it earlier, but the tether actually reveals invisible people. Karma tether and LeBlanc tether act the same there, so you have to be very careful. No Flame top brain gonna have to flash away yet again. As Danger is just too strong, having that gore drinker finished. And I'm sorry, but your Executioner's Calling will not help you against Danger.
Yeah, and it's the Gore Drinker advantage as well as the 2-level advantage. He's so far ahead already from the Gangplank that if Gangplank oversteps, he's going to die. And then going back into the bot lane play, a really nice answer by Hexmith. Prepare for the counter gag. Oh, wait.
Here comes the knock of silence. And the flash over the wall, actually. Buster Shot coming through. One last auto attack. Oh, not enough. He had to pray for the God 15% crit, and it didn't happen. The God crit just wasn't enough. Knock-up not going to land from Dangerous. Danger realizes as he is in trouble. No, he doesn't. Now he knows as Hexman is going to be going in onto him. Here comes the knock-up and the ultimate coming out from top.
Nice play.
Brain, but he is going to go down. Lee Sin not going to get there in time.
Yeah, really well played by Hexmith once again, going into the play. He just rushes in, and as soon as he has the connect... Oh, wait, listen. Bye-bye.
Listen, going on to Top Brain. Top Brain has no brain, as it is splattered all across the rift at the moment.
Yeah, he didn't last that much longer after the kill, so sad for our Gangplank friend, but really nice play answered by Yoroshiku. Even though he gets later to try and save the Aatrox, it's still a nice way to stop the snowball from the side of AKM, and at least you get something out of that. And then on the plate of the Tristana committed way too hard for that kill. She used both flash and heal, and she didn't get anything. That can be really impactful in this bowling because the turret is still up, and Tristana has to still try and protect it, so the Thresh will have even more opportunity now to try and get the hook or the play down.
No, absolutely, and I think we need to go off of this screen just in case for spectate reasons, PVS. I believe we go to a pause screen or something like that, so teams can't see in case this is an extended pause. But yeah, we will. Not sure if we'll be muted for this pause or not. So I will keep talking unless told otherwise.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, it's as we can tell, Danger is able to run down No Flame Top Brain pretty easily.
Yeah.
Which is not great. The movement speed from Danger's ultimate is just way too strong.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but I feel like it's something that you probably expect from this matchup, even with all that the attention that they had on the early game, because we need to remember that Danger actually died at the start.
Hey,
He
PBS,
actually
we have a
died.
intermission screen? Yeah. So we will be right back as we go to an intermission screen, I guess. That's what my producer is telling me. So we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, guys, we are back after a nice extended 7-minute break. Don't get mad at us. You can respectfully DM any player on that team and put them on the hot seat and flame them for top lane not having a good router. Or if anyone wants to fund top lane a new router to make sure that doesn't happen again, I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Or fund my new computer. That's also something that you can do. Just putting out there.
Starting a GoFundMe for top lane to get him a new router.
Runeterra Academy, not only transmitting tournaments, but also funding for players. Amazing community.
All jokes aside, Dragon's going to be spawning in 15 seconds, so both sides are going to be setting up for Dragon about 30 seconds too late, but hey, at least they're here.
Yeah, they're going to commit to a fight. And interestingly, there's not a lot of flank vision or flank positioning from Aatrox or Akali. They're just going full front forward trying to get position. Well, they fight like that. Okay.
Dragon is going to be started down to about half HP. Akuma Fluke is going to be going through. Oh, that knockup actually, Heximus actually was able to get through as a double root lands onto Lee Sin and a flyer into the backside, but so much is going through. Aatrox is running absolutely rampant. Smite, does he not know the damage changes? Like, what happened? Akali is actually able to go through, but they pick it up, but they lose 2. What did we just witness? The flash over the wall from Fluke. Fluke is going to be spotting out Yoroshiku. Yoroshiku going through is going to be recalling, but he's got to be spotted. Does not have a... Oh, he does have a pink ward. No, don't go through. No, Yoroshiku, you had one way to get out, and you chose the wrong way. He's going to get into the brush in time. No, he won't, as Iron Burkai is going to get executed. And
at least
5 for nothing.
Yeah, and like you were saying, what was that fight? Because like at the start we were talking about how they need to fight those team fights, getting flank positioning so that Aatrox and Akali can get the maximum amount of damage out and be able to play the fights better. But
not only that, but they cannot start up an objective.
Yeah.
Like their whole win condition around objectives is let my opponent start it, grab a pick on the outliers who are going to be probably one of the damage dealers, whether it's going to be the LeBlanc or it's going to be the Aphelios, unless Thresh is running, Gatekeeper. But even still, it's like at that point, it's not great to grab the Thresh, but it's just so difficult because if Thresh is not the target, he lanterns and it's a free out. Unless, of course, you hold the knockup from Blitzcrank and you knock them up as soon as they grab the lantern, which is a viable strategy, but it is one that's hard to pull off.
Yeah, and the problem also with that is like it's hard to pull off, and you shouldn't expect to actually be able to pull it off consistently. So already you're starting the objective, so you have the extra damage not only from the enemy team that will come into you and try and fight, but also from the Drake. So you're kind of already in a losing position, and critically Blitzcrank hooks the Xinjiao in, which was one of the champions that we said don't hook because it's not going to be good. It's not going to be worth it. Just there. Oh wait.
Danger. Here comes the ultimate. Does get a single knockup here. Second knockup's not going to go through. Gore Drinker keeps him alive for now. Here comes the third knockup. A lot of damage, a lot of healing coming through, but his cooldowns are all down, so he's looked a little scared for. Oh, a great flash kick after the ward hop, and
nice.
It was great, except for now Keybinder is a mile and a half away from any damage dealer. Sleepyhead and Meanwhile in the bot side going to be as, oh my gosh! Turned it around with a proto belt execution damage, and unfortunately, Iron Burkai, that's the one time you don't want to hook somebody. You had a perfect opportunity to just kill the Aphelios. He was between a rock and a hard place, and you pulled him to safety. Like, that's just...
You have to be... I'm going to say, you have to feel for Amber Kai because he gets... and because of a misplay, they miss up on the kill. So not only do you fail to get the kill, you lose your Aatrox on top lane, which is a really massive kill to get. But luckily, Sleepyhead at least gets a trade and is able to delete the Gangplank. I feel like that is really important because Akali needs to keep on getting gold. If the game is going to be at a point where you can win it, Akali has to have at least 2 items.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man.
It's unlucky. Or sad. Or misplayed. Or everything combined, pretty much. They're going for Baron, wow.
I mean, they can. They have a 6,000 gold lead by 20 minutes. They have the side lane pressuring. They have X-Flute going to be running interference. Now it's going to be warded, but it wasn't prior to that. So it's like, you have all of the advantages in your court, and you can force these major objectives. You can force these major objectives. You can force these neutral objectives as well, and it's just it gives you so much agency that I don't know. It's they can pretty much take whatever they want at this point.
Yeah. And you have also to give it to how they're being playing, because they have been answering correctly to whatever the side of OMT Aries wanted to do. Because every time that Lee Sin wanted to actually pull something, either the Thresh is already there to try and save the Aphelios because it's pretty much against Aphelios, or the Xinjiao is answering in another place with a really good killer pick. So overall, it's just really nice play from AKM that they have been going around the map, getting objectives, getting kills, and getting advantages really well. And I also want to say that Baron probably, it's like you were saying, they can probably pull it off. But if they have the combination of the chakrams and the lifesteal gun, I don't remember what is it called. If they have those two weapons with Aphelios, they probably take it even faster. So that's something to try and keep up the edge of.
Oh, Fluke almost actually grabbed him with the tether prediction on that, just barely off.
Yeah, and that's something that they have. The Tristana has to be careful of. Wait.
Oh,
Gangplank again.
Tower is going to fall, though, as the second dragon has spawned. They really can't contest it, and they know that Aatrox is going to be pushing in topside. Going to be threatening a tower. We'll see if it actually happens, though.
It's the correct play, I feel like, because they shouldn't try and fight that dragon with how far behind they are. So at least they're going for something. Oh, Hookah's wife. Again.
Unfortunately, again.
Unfortunately. Like, at least Aatrox is doing something. I feel like at least Danger, he's trying to put pressure on the sidelines, and I feel like that's something that they should try and play around as well with the Aatrox and the Akali. Try and put pressure on those sidelines and get as much damage as possible. Also, Akali went for the Proto Belt, not the Wraith Maker, which kind of surprising. I feel like Wraith Maker has been more popular recently, so it's interesting to see.
They're going through. Sleepyhead actually could make a play here, but chooses not to. Did have the Ignite in the ultimate, but did not want to risk going on to the LeBlanc.
The problem is there's no real vision for Sleepyhead here. He has just one ward. So if he overcommits, then the Xinjiao may try and get there. Nice kick by Yoshiko.
Brain was able to pick up the Scuttle Crab there.
Have slowed the game down really nicely, not actually coming in for way too many things, but they have complete control of, like, they just moved their vision. They had control over the bottom side for the Drake, and now they have complete control of the top side. And like you were saying, now I feel like with the items that they got, they can probably even rush it even faster.
Oh, absolutely, they have it pinked up, so they know.
And they have the best combo for Aphelios.
They do pink it, but there is the second blue trinket coming out, and they're actually going to go for it. They are committing here, it looks like, as Thresh and Flute going through. Does get the knock of Flyer. 666 is going to... Oh, one.
She's dead.
Auto heal, yeah.
She's dead.
Auto attack is going to be enough to kill her out. And here comes Yoshiko, who's going to be on the backside. You're going to be able to jump to the side.
Oh,
it's very low. Yoshiko is going to be getting the nice shield coming out of Flute. He's going to be able to dash here in just a second. There it is, but it's not going to be enough. The instant flash away by I'm Berkai. And that is just, that's all she wrote. And Hexmist is actually still on the Baron. Oh, no, he's not. Wait, he just restarted the Baron. Okay. Clearing the wards.
He was out killing everyone else, then he went back in. Because they had, like you were saying, they can just rush it down. They have complete control. So they have to, the side of OMT Aries has to commit towards going for the play. But sadly, they don't have any position. The Blank just burst out the Tristana. And after that, it's just an easy cleanup.
Berkai waiting in the wings there. They don't realize... Oh, Aatrox doesn't realize he is on a ward. Hook does land on it.
Oh no.
Smite mid-hook, interestingly enough. A nice triple slow, but here comes the engagement. And here comes the knock-up. Danger actually going massive onto the backside. And unfortunately, Blitz Akali as well as top lane no grain is going to be going on the backside massively. Danger is going to be trying to run away. The Dragon Strike not going to be anything, unfortunately. And it's just Danger alive. And Gore Drinker was not. Lee Sin didn't Gore Drinker in that fight.
think it was. I'm not sure if he was flayed by the Thresh, but yeah, if that goes in, maybe he heals a little bit. But I don't think it actually gets anything because the Aphelios is free hitting from behind. There was never a threat from the Aphelios. Aphelios would have cleaned up. Sadly, I don't think Flyer can actually do anything here.
Yeah,
Oh no.
the flay into the instant hook, and that's going to be a free kill coming out for Hexmiss. And the flash forward here, not sure what the flash was for, but I mean, maybe it's just because, hey, it's the end of the game. And then it's going to be game one going over to Akuma. Blades, Ironberkai going to be surviving here. And unfortunately, you know, we talked about it in draft, just their team comp that they drafted was just very counterintuitive due to the champions that they picked. And they tried to do too many things and spread themselves too thin, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that I feel like that OMT Ares had a really nice. I'm not going to say plan at the start, but they were making corrections as the game goes on. They went for the Aatrox lane. They try and pull it ahead. They give Akali a space to try and farm and do her things, and then try and accommodate Tristana so that she wouldn't be in a dangerous position. But because the Blitzcrank doesn't ever have an actual purpose in the game, apart from hooking once and maybe expecting something to happen, the game was just harder for them than it actually could have been. Because if you have something else on that support position, maybe you can actually have more power in the bot lane. Because there was, like, even at the start of the game, we thought that maybe at laning phase one hook can be good enough to get a kill or something like that. But not even that. Every time they hook the Thresh, it was just setting up the flay so that Aphelios could get even more damage in.
Well,
and
not only that, but if you hook the Aphelios, then the instant Lantern comes in, and this is why
which
Blitzcrank
happened a couple of times.
Yeah, and this is exactly why, you know, Thresh is considered a massive Blitzcrank counter, is because everything he wants to do, unless you have massive burst on the other side of that hook, everything Blitzcrank wants to do gets countered by Thresh. But yeah, I mean, you can see that right there, the damage numbers coming through, Xin Zhao putting in mad work, Aphelios, and even the burst damage, even though this LeBlanc had almost half the damage of Xin Zhao, LeBlanc's burst was critical at key points throughout the game. So
yeah, like the Baron.
It's yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy. But don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back with game number 2 after just a few minutes. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to game number 2 between Omega Titan Esports Aries and Akuma Blades. After a pretty one-sided victory for Akuma, we'll have to see how OMT can bounce back in this game too. Graves, Shen, and Aphelios already banned away for OMT, and it's going to be Viego, Swain, and Fiora banned for Akuma. OMT going to be grabbing the Jin Zhao for them this game, wanting to try to first pick it away from Akuma.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of the power from Xin Zhao last game. I don't think it was a deficiency from the Lee Sin or just an edge over the Xin Zhao. I feel it's because the lanes were in so many bad positions sometimes for the Lee Sin to actually get anything done, and Xin Zhao had to just answer or respond to what the laners wanted to do and the Lee Sin wanted to do, that it was just such an easy snowball for him to pull off. But I still feel like Xin Zhao is a really nice champion to have, and the early game can be really nice if you have good 2v2s and 3v3s, so I like the champion pick. And then I came going for the Lilia. I haven't seen the champion in, I'm sure to say, in a long time, because a lot of she fell a lot out of the meta and a lot of the other champions became stronger. Also, her problem with item picks and things like that, it kind of made her not be that valuable of a pick. But now with the new changes, I'm interested in seeing what the new Lydia with the new changes can do, and if she's as strong as she was before, or if she works in a different manner than she did before.
I unfortunately am getting a phone call from my mother, so I will have to answer this. I will be right back. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. I'll keep up. Yeah. What? Oh wait, so they are playing mid lane and AD carry in different positions. Okay. Okay, so the mid laner for OMT and the AD carry for OMT are now switching positions. So the mid laner will play AD carry this game, and the AD carry will play mid lane this game, which makes this 6 pick even more interesting, because that means that it probably is going to be a 6 bot lane, which is really strong, and a Bard. I want to see what these two champions can achieve together, especially because you should have a lot of power in the bot lane and a lot of pushing power. And if the Tristan and the Nautilus, which are a nice engaged bot lane, don't get an early kill or an early advantage, then Ziggs and Bard should just take complete control over the building. It shouldn't be a question what those two champions can do, and they can also push turrets really fast and affect the map from far away without actually having to be far away from building. So already, I really like what OMT it has made in terms of adaptations in draft. 3 nice champions to have. I feel like 3 strong champions, and Bard can have a lot of say in this game, especially trying to counter the Lydia's sleep, which can be a massive ultimate. So I like seeing these champions picked in. The bans coming through, Akali and LeBlanc, as well as Jax. I feel like Akali and LeBlanc didn't affect that much the game previously. Akali, it's not as strong as before. She can still be insta-kill someone. She is an assassin, but it's not as prevalent as it was before. And the LeBlanc, although it had a lot of lane pressure and power, I don't feel like LeBlanc was that much of a huge threat. She killed the Tristana once, yes, but it's not like she did it because because the champion is super broken, but because she was so far ahead and the Tristana never had any position to try and go into the Baron pit blindly. So it was just so easy to pick there. And the Gnar blind as well. I'm kind of surprised seeing the Gnar ban, but I feel like it's okay.
No, absolutely. Also, I am back. It was actually my brother that called, but using my mother's phone.
I was able to fill time anyway. It's okay.
Perfect. Yeah, dude, I love the Ziggs pick, man. I think Ziggs is a fantastic pickup. Being able to tower push is so strong. Really can match the Tristana if it goes to like a tower pushing scenario with the explosive charge coming through.
Yep.
And actually, that's going to be the Kled pickup. Kled is not something that we see too often, but being piloted by the right person, Kled can be such an oppressive top laner.
Yeah, and he also has so many nice engaged tools, especially okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to talk just about the Kled, but Garen, I'm going to commit to the Kled first. Kled has a really nice engaged tools, and the ultimate is so valuable for champions that want to go in because it's easier access without actually having to use your abilities and not overcommitting yourself. So Lydia and Nautilus will take so much value out of that alone, and the Kled can survive longer than most champions, so his health and survivability is deceptive in comparison to what he can actually do. And then on the other side, Diana, really nice pick. It's going to be in the mid lane because the Xin Zhao will most likely go into the jungle, although there have been players that have played mid lane Xin Zhao. I feel like Diana should be going into the mid lane. And the Garen pick. I'm not sure how to feel about the Garen pick because I feel like it can be really strong or really bad.
It did just get buffed.
Yeah, and against these kind of melee champions, the bruisers in both the clan and even the Gwen, Garen can be really useful because he has a lot of sticking power, and as long as he can use his E, then his value will skyrocket even more. The value of his E needs to be constantly applied, but if he can do that, then he can damage, and then his ultimate can kill someone up. And I feel like that can be more valuable against the Gwen than the Kled particularly, but you can still achieve kind of the same against the Kled to some degree. The problem is if the enemy team can kite him.
Just to let you know, that's actually going to be a Ziggs AD carry, Xin Zhao mid lane.
Okay, I know that it was a 6 AD carry because I'm not sure if you heard, but Flyer and Sleepyhead traded positions.
Yep.
So
and
Flyer. Okay,
that's
is
why we know
also
Xin Zhao mid because he's not a one trick Xin Zhao, but he plays it mid quite a bit.
Yeah, which makes the matchups interesting because I like the idea of the Xin Zhao mid, and the Diana mid could have also worked against the Gwen, maybe because the Q and the E, if the Gwen becomes uncharted, it's kind of hard to actually get it off. But those are champions that have a sticking power, and if you can get on top of the Gwen before she uses the Shroud, then it's easier to kill her, and she's one champion that is susceptible to champions that have a lot of sticking power. So OMT has a lot of resources to try and pull it off, which is already nice enough. And it seems like it will be a Gwen top and a Claire mid lane. Okay, that mid lane matchup is going to be so fun to see.
I am so thrilled to see this because as much as I love seeing strange like assassins play mid lane like Xin Zhao, I love even more to see bruisers absolutely dumpster assassins mid. So I'm really excited to see the Kled go mid lane.
The feelings of hate against the assassins. But I agree. If it's a good, like, I love Assassins to some degree because it's fun watching them explode people. But if you have a good counter against certain champions that you can pull it off, then it's great to see. I think it's super entertaining to watch. And I feel like if not for the fact that the Kled and the Gwen can just win no one-sided, but can win so handedly their lanes, then I would have said that On Thierry's has such a good draft. That has such a draft edge because of the 6 part particularly, and they will be able to deal so much damage and create so much distance. But the Claire particularly will make it so that you have a chance to get on top of the 6 because of the ultimate, and that is really valuable alone.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on there. What do you think in the mid game? Say it comes into or like mid to late game. Say it comes into a tower pushing. Tower race here. Which side do you favor here? I personally favor
the 6 side.
Really? Do you actually? See,
because okay, my reasoning goes because I would expect that it's going to be at least 3 or 4 members going into that tower push, and I would expect that Xinjiao, Diana, and 6 have more pushing power than Lilia. Like that's the champion that I'm not convinced in, Lilia.
Gwen. I was looking at it as like a Tristana Kled Gwen, because Gwen is a lot of auto-based as well.
Yeah, but I'm expecting the Gwen, like, if it's come to, like you're saying, tower pushing, I would expect that it's going to be a 4-1, Garen going against the Gwen and the other 4 members. Yeah, if it's like you were saying, if it's Gwen, Kled, Tristana, I would favor that side because Gwen and Kled can actually take it down. But my thing is with Lilia. I think Lilia doesn't have that much pushing power.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying now. I agree with you. But on that final point, guys, we are going to go into a break here just for the last 2 minutes or so of the spectators delay. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to game number 2 here for the senior class between Akuma Blades and Omega Titan Esports Aries. Interesting. Are they gonna? I think they're gonna 5-stack here for Omega Titan. They are, and they're gonna send 2 people forward to kind of kite back to ward up, actually, and then come right back. Nautilus going in for some early vision. They spot something up as he was able to not see anybody and just walk his way in as well. But you know what? Let's introduce the teams here. For OMT in the top lane, we have Danger on Garen. In the jungle, we have Yoroshiku gonna be playing Diana. Flyer666 in the mid lane gonna be playing Jinzhao. Sleepyhead on AD carry this time around on Ziggs, and he is gonna be supported by I'm Berkai on Bard. Now representing Akuma Blades, we have No Flame top brain in the top lane on Gwen. We have Akuma Hexmist in the jungle on Lilia, Akuma X Fluke in the mid lane on Kled, Akuma Keyboarder on AD carry Tristana, and to round out the team comp, we have Nautilus on support, being played by Bursch.
Bursch. Who has he had a really nice game on the Thresh last game, so I like him going back into Hook Champions. And like we were talking about this specifically in the bot lane matchup, we think that Bard and Six should win ideally, but the potential from Tristana and Nautilus is there to get the lane advantage and try and move that into the rest of the game.
Very, very true here. I mean, the nice natural sustain from Jinzhao is going to be fantastic during lane phase. And, ooh, No Flame top lane going very aggressive on to Danger. Doesn't really get punished either.
Yeah. Also, need to focus on that. Danger has Ignite. So he has kill potential on the Gwen, but also if he dies, he will lose a lot on top lane.
He might have kill potential, but not right now when his HP bar is very low. And here comes the instant level 2. Here comes the flash forward and flash away.
Ooh,
and
nice by
people are not going to go any further as Sleepyhead takes a massive chunk of damage. Going to be forced to recall. Lucky he didn't die there, and he is going to teleport right back.
Yeah, and that's the level 2 power spike that Tristana and Nautilus have. And that Tristana didn't have last game. With someone like Nautilus, you can just commit way harder on someone like the Six. And if you get a hook like Brush did that time, then it's so much damage down, and you are able to force down the flash. So maybe another play can be the kill for the Nautilus and Tristana lane.
Well, it's also very lucky. Iberkai got a nice stun onto both of them. It saved his AD carry as he was not able to do anything.
Did we consider Six an AD carry, actually? Because he's an AP carry, right? Or well, yeah, something like that. Then looking at the rest of the map, Lydia and Diana probably don't want to interact much with the lanes just because they like to farm. But Lilia now with the new changes, I feel like she probably kind of also wants to go into lane because she has a little bit more agency, even though the seed is not that strong anymore.
Which one of these lanes are you going to be looking to be most volatile in the early game?
Mid lane or top lane? Like I feel like those two should be the more volatile ones, but like we just saw bot lane get the flash blown out.
Sleepyhead has to walk all the way around. That is brutal. Great positioning there from Bursch.
Taking full advantage of the flash down. Like that is having what is called remember when Afromu? No, you remember when Afromu did the video with the Leona that it was support is so easy. It reminded me of that.
Oh yeah, the situational awareness as well it was fantastic. They're realizing, yeah, flash is down, I can get away with this play.
Yeah, and you like to see that. I think Brush is has shown previously that he can take advantage of those instances as a support, and even not only take full power on the bot lane, but even move around and try and create something else somewhere else. Because he also in the previous game as Thresh, he had the advantage of bot lane with the Aphelios, and then move around with the Thresh towards the top lane to help secure a dive that ended up going in favor of the side of AKM.
Very, very true here. Oh, Lily is actually going to be looking to potentially gank into Flyer, and here comes the 3-man gank, the instant flash away. Ooh, if they would have kept... Oh, the Rook actually
Going to
lands.
flash.
Root's coming through. Flyer 666 going to be taking a lot of damage here. One last auto attack, and is it going to be the pull?
Wait.
Fluke! Fluke, what are you doing? Fluke did not need to flash forward there to get the kill, the bear trap on the rope. Oh, and here comes the hook landing onto Diana again. Diana is going to be ignited and almost going down. Burst using Ignite on cooldown, man. Well, here comes the instant teleport coming out from Jin Zhao as Danger going to be fighting on to No Flame top brain.
No, Fluke, like you were saying, he pretty much got the kill with the bird trap, but he decides to flash. I think that's probably because he doesn't typically play the Kled and didn't expect to be able to deal the killing blow with the bird trap, but he had it. It was his, I feel, at that point.
I completely agree with you, and I think that's exactly what happened. Just not realizing it, doesn't realize what his champion does. Kind of just plays it a little bit and worked on it from there. Here comes engagement though from Fluke, going to be fighting on to Flyer, and Flyer just doing a lot of damage here. He's actually going for the Phage first here, so it doesn't look like he's going to go the Duskblade route this game.
Is he going for Sunderer? Or yeah, Sunderer, because Trinity Force doesn't build into these.
It could be that. It could be Sunder if he's going for the Sheen side of things. It could be something else. We'll have to wait and see.
Rushing? Is he rushing? What is it called? I forgot the name of the split push item. The Hullbreaker. No, the Hullbreaker.
Okay.
Yeah, rushing Hullbreaker mid lane. Why not?
Could be Sterix. I mean, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah.
Probably none of those, but you know.
Yeah, it could be anything. Also, once again, moving. I love if we could see at the minimap, although trading hard on the Garen.
Yeah, but
she has Ignite.
Actually. No more mana though is the problem. Did burn the ult, or did burn
no
the
flash.
Danger. No flash to get away, and his Imber Kai is gonna be just bringing him super low. Here comes the Kled though to keep his top laner, bail him out there.
Nice stop by the Diana there. And also bot lane, there seems to be setting up a dive. Oh, 6.
Here comes the Ziggs ulti on himself, but they didn't have anything going through. Brush is going to be tanking his one last auto attack. Tristana picks up the free kill, but it looks like Fluke is going to be getting
this as well.
He is going to go down. Yeah, that is going to be Iverkai going to be tanking it out, and Garen's going to be able to take the kill.
Yeah, and really well done from both sides. Oh wait, Shin. There's no ulti from Gwen.
Yeah, there's no ulti from Gwen, doesn't realize it, but at the same time doesn't have any more cooldowns up, so doesn't want to take any extended trades if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and going back a little bit, really nice dive execution from both sides. I think the dive from the AKM was easier to execute because it's against a 6, so I think it's easier to actually get the kill against him. It was really well done. And on top side, away danger. And Diana and Bard are here as well.
Danger's going through, he's going to be able to run through him, but will it be enough? The hook back, he's going to get dismounted. Will be a shield coming out, and the silence coming through. Diana picking up the kill, and Danger is going to survive, and the repeat gank top lane comes in huge.
Yeah, and I was going to commend Brush and Hexmist moving around as a ganking duo and putting pressure on the map, but also Imber Kai and Joroshku moving around as well as a duo to try and get the kills. They have been collapsing on top side, and they have done a really well job. Lydia gets to sleep. That should be an easy kill.
Is gonna fall, yeah. As soon as the sleep landed, it was over.
Oh no.
The knockup is going to come through as now Sleepyhead is just going to get absolutely blasted by Keyboarder. And this bot lane is just looking extremely one-sided. Bard keeps looking to roam, which makes sense because it's Bard. He wants those chimes. He wants to be able to get out. And the engage from Tristana and Nautilus is just too much.
Yeah, and the problem is that even without the Nautilus, if 6 is alone and the wave is in a bad position, it's so easy for Tristana to just jump in and get a kill, which leaves the 6 to always be susceptible to anything. And that is also has to do with how much pressure they have put on the 6 from the start. 6 hasn't had any free time on the laning phase, so he's so far behind not only farm, but in positioning, and the Tristana is in comparison so far ahead from farm, from getting kills, from getting plates, and from not actually needing the Nautilus to be there, and the Bard not even being there either.
Yeah, I know it's just really unfortunate for Ziggs. Normally a pretty safe laner, but unfortunately in an elongated lane like that with no support, or a support that's looking to roam for the entirety of the
Or
the
attention,
latter half
even.
of the latter half of the early game, it makes Ziggs' lane phase just next to impossible, especially against an AD carry who has a gap closer like that.
Yeah, and we will see it again. Nice bomb.
No, he's gonna be able to
Oof.
get the bomb away in time. But here comes
Oh,
the hook, and
or
there is the
will
flash
he?
as well. Sleepyhead, one last auto attack, and that is gonna be all she wrote. Kill going over to Tristana.
Yeah, that was okay. Wait, when? I don't. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they got anything out of that. A little bit too much of a commitment from the Bard. And now they lost the ultimate, and once again, Brush just knowing where to be in the correct place, setting up on bot lane, gets a flash kill and easy to execute. And diving on the
Here comes
Diana
a
as well.
3-man ultimate, but it doesn't matter. A lot of damage coming out, and the Bob coming
Just
through.
that, yeah.
And unfortunately for OMT, Bursch was the one who was tanking that entire time.
Yeah, and once again, Brush, I have to keep on commending him because he goes for the dive, but as soon as he's able to put the tower aggro on top of him, even if the Diana goes in and gets the ultimate, it's not going to actually matter because Tristana shouldn't die from that, Nautilus shouldn't die from that, and they still have heal and the sleep from
They're looking, here comes the stun,
dive.
and here comes the execution damage.
Nice
Dancer gonna get the kill. Doesn't get it with the execution damage, but it doesn't matter. Picks it up anyways with the assist of Iron Berkai. And man, you can really see it's only a 300 goal difference because both teams are making plays on opposite sides of the map.
Yeah. The response from each team has been good to see. I'm actually really focusing on how good this support tool has been in terms of getting advantages from each other because every time that Brush does something on one side, Amber Kai is trying to do something either on the other side or trying to respond to Brush. So this feels like watching junglers trying to pull off ganks, but instead it's the secondary junglers this time around, the supports.
And second dragon of the game is going to be started up and should go over to Akuma here.
Also, first turret blood. I'm not sure if Garen can secure this, but it's really close to that. And Tristana shouldn't be able to push this turret before the Garen.
Danger, don't. Unless they just go and drop it top lane. Okay, good. No. Garen stopped this recall. They are going to force out the first one. This is exactly what they need to do. Sleepyhead getting bullied in the bot side, but realizing what's going on. And, oh, man, they are... okay. Fluke. Is that a misclick, or what was the person?
They wanted to protect Hexmist. That's what I think. They thought maybe they would engage on her and Lydia would die, but... It's not a ultimate that it's that bad to lose, I feel like, because it's not that huge of a cooldown, and you probably won't pull it now. I think luckily they are able to secure, the side of OMT is able to secure, oh wait, Shin? Party's here as well.
Oh, that's a cool looking golden statue there, and that is going to be the stun coming up. The Fluke is going to be going through the pull back on. I'm going to be tanking one thing and one last auto attack, one too many. Questionable. Yeah, it's very questionable for Mime Berkai taking one too many tower shots, but this is going to be their second tower of the game here as Flyer 666 and Yoroshiku are really able to rip through this tower.
Yeah, the good thing is they get the turret with the plates.
All 5 plates were taken.
That is huge. If not for that influx of gold, that huge influx of gold, it could have been worse because losing 2 champions right there, it's not actually needed to happen. But it's just, I feel like Sleepyhead is committing way too hard to being in a position that he shouldn't even need to be. And also Amber Kai dying there without using his flash. He had every instance to try and run away before actually committing anything, but he took, like you were saying, too many tower shots when he has flash. It's kind of not the great look, the greatest look for Bard there.
Where do you think the rotations from AKM should be here, as they did lose the gold lead again?
Without Dragon being up, I think... Oh, wait. Diana's here. Oh, I thought they were going to for something. Without the Drake being up and having the Gwen and the Kled as good side laners, I think you can probably just pull off a 1-3-1 already, sending the Tristana and the Tristana mid lane. Oh, wait. Shin.
Well, Flyer is going to be able to dodge most of them, but here comes the Drowsy, here comes the Sleep, and the Bop coming down. A lot of damage coming through. He's going to be able to negate a lot. Why didn't he go back in?
Not enough.
You go back in, you are negating all of the bleed damage from the Lilia, who has Riftmaker, not Leandre's or anything like that, so the burn isn't even going to be that impactful.
It has to be a misclick. That just seems like a way that Garen. Yeah, when is that? She doesn't have flash.
I just sat here staring at my screen like, there's nothing to say here. It's
yeah. I'm glad that we're seeing Garen do what I expected Garen to do, which was get on top of the Gwen, use a Strike Breaker, and kill her. Oh no, 6, not again.
Sleepyhead is Gale Force going to be going through, and the bomb going to be just enough. And here comes the Crescent striking a double knock actually going through, but Yoroshiku is going to be dropped very, very low, not able to finish it off though, as here comes the stun. No, it's not going to stun, just going to be a slow dash from Flyer. Is going to go on to the cannon. Iberkai is going to be trying to survive. Here comes the Garen onto the backside. He's going to be flashing over the wall, going for the kill. Will pick up the one, and Burst is going to fall. No, it won't! The tower, or the flash aside, Flyer's going back in onto Gwen, perhaps? Danger lives? Wow, that man got away with murder.
Yeah, movement speed buff right there. He gets the movement speed from the Q to be able to run away, and he was so close to dying, like we were saying, but I also feel like X-Fluke could have survived. He was so close to surviving and getting remounted back, and that could have been the worst case scenario from ONT. Luckily, they are able to at least get something out of it. They kill X-Fluke and don't lose the Garen and the Shin. Because that play was getting turned by the side of AKM so great. I really like that hook from Brush and the commitment from the Clay to be there. They cannot burst those two champions out so easily. So committing so much from the Diana there is not the greatest thing. And then when the Lydia is coming from behind with the movement speed bonus and everything from that her kid has, it's just so easy to clean up after the fact. And Drake is spawning in 10 seconds.
I don't think they can really contest this dragon, to be honest. They're going to try, and here goes... Oh, Keyboarder is going to go through, and here goes a great ultimate from Flyer, actually, to stop any ensuing damage, to make sure he doesn't have to recall.
Now they shouldn't even consider fighting. That ultimate is so important for them to try and fight anything.
It is important, but Tristana's a little above half HP, does not have lifesteal, but here comes the hook.
Oh, the hook.
Going through his great ultimate from Gwen. A great three-man stun, though, coming out as Imber comes to run away, but a double sleep is coming through off the backside as the bomb's going from Sleepyhead, but Sleepyhead just so far behind, not able to do anything. Buster shot, and oh no Flame Top Rain is going to be the target, but he's going to get yoinked. A triple kill coming out from Lilia, and man, we got a series on our hands, guys.
Do we?
I mean,
AKM is destroying OMT.
That's true. I meant the game, not a series.
Yeah, the series, I'm not sure, but AKM came to play this series tonight, and they're destroying OMT. This teamfight was so really nicely played. Brush with the hook, commits on the play, and Iberkai tries and get the ultimate on top of almost everyone, but he gets the low priority targets in the Tristana, the Nautilus, and the Gwen. In comparison, Lydia and Kled, that in my opinion are the higher priority targets because they can get into the backline easily. They are able to just move around the Bard ultimate. They are able to commit to the backline, and the Lilia alone was able to create enough chaos to destroy the 6, the Bard, and I think even the Xinjiao. Like there was no real power from the 6 in that fight, and the Garen and the Diana were left alone trying to fight against the other 3 and 4 members. So it was so hard to commit, and also crucially Yoroshiku missed the ultimate there. That small amount of damage maybe can make the Tristana kill easier to get, and maybe Garen can actually trade one of those targets that were able to survive. But sadly, no, it doesn't go like that. They lose that fight, they lose the Drake, and they lose Soul Point. So now they're in an even worse position because of the...
Maybe it's about to get knocked here. Lilia's going to get the bowling ball for free here. Where is the bowling ball? Oh, the Gale Force and the autos. Oh my gosh. No. Tristana 606 going to be so incredibly strong here. Danger is now going to be the target of the hook. Danger, why did you? It's going on to the Tristana, but all she has to do is right-click. That silence means nothing to her. And Keyboarder actually almost died there regardless.
Yeah, and I was thinking there couldn't be anything worse than that. Well, this is worse than before, because now you lose once against the 6. The Garen that was your only shining light dies once again, and the side of a game has complete control of the bottom and top lane jungle. Oh, hook.
Coming through, Burst is going to be tanking, but it just doesn't matter. Isn't 2-man ultimate coming out from the Diana. Diana is going to be going down as well, but it's one for one. far end. Drowsy's going through this jump through, and Flute gonna take him down. Imberkai trying desperately to escape. Oh, what the? That was such a weird interaction. He didn't actually get knocked out of the base. That's such a weird interaction. Sleepyhead is gonna be burning down, but
Sleepyhead
has no more mana. And goodbye. Tristana just right clicks him to death.
I feel for Sleepyhead. He hasn't been able to play anything from this game. He has constantly been targeted. He's 0-8, and he cannot join any fight consciously because if he just oversteps a little bit, he's dead.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, it's like, I'm not sure what you would expect from an immobile, mage in the bot lane with a support that just wants to leave you 24/7. So I'm not sure what they expected drafting a bard with that, especially if you're looking to roam.
Like, that's the thing for me. I think the Bard 6 lane is better than it actually was shown in this game, but because Ember Kai, and I think it's because Sleepyhead and Ember Kai lost the lane way too early in the game, they committed towards letting Ember Kai roam and try and put pressure on the other lanes. But because of that, now you're leaving the 6 that is behind alone against champions that can dive and kill him so easily. So already from the start of the game, it was such a bad position for the 6 to be in. Because if he at least is able to farm and get towards 1.5 items, he doesn't need to do much to actually get damage down. Oof.
Here comes the ultimate here, the depth charge, and now he actually used his dredge line into the wall here, which is the reason why I didn't use that immediately. Danger is going to be going into the backside keyboarder. It's just gonna Gale Force his way to safety, and it's like, great, you launched a Rift Herald, now what are you gonna do with it? Oh, nothing? Great, because your whole team's dead.
Yeah, super useful that Rift Herald then. It's so sad to see because, oh no. Yeah, Sleepyhead is dead.
Sleepyhead is gonna go take a nap now. The eternal sleep.
Yeah, I feel like for his sake, we should end this as soon as possible because this just feels like a massacre. This is a massacre.
9-1. He has been a part of 10 kills, but only 1 for his team.
Poor
Here comes a teleport. The BM teleport coming through in the instant engage from Flyer. They're going to be going on to the Gwen initially, but is it going to be enough? Here, great form. Actually, wait a second. This might not be the end of the game. Brush is going to be going down as well.
No, it is.
Oh, never mind. Brush survived. Tower's gone. Danger going onto the backside here. Will it be enough to burst through as Bars goes Sleepyhead? Will he be the savior? Probably not. It's no. Here comes Keyboard again. And that is going to be another kill and a triple kill coming out for the Tristana.
Yeah, and they made Sleepyhead trade positions with Flyer so that they could play different positions, and sadly it's Sleepyhead that gets the bad part of that because it's 0-10, couldn't do anything, so far behind constantly. You just hate to see it for that 6 particularly.
Yeah, absolutely, and let's take a look at these damage charts here. Man,
who do you want to see? Tristana?
Just about 22,000 damage on the Tristana, man.
Taking advantage of the first 6, I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm actually surprised. Lilia dealt so much damage this game, and she did a lot. Even without the dots build, she went for the Riftmaker. She went for the Riftmaker. So even though it's not committing for dots, she dealt a lot of damage and had a lot of pressure, and she wasn't as squishy either.
Yeah, she had a lot of sustain, and lived in these fights a lot longer than most Lilias would have for sure.
Yeah, and overall, great, like I was saying earlier, great series by AKM. They certainly came to play, and the slump that they had earlier in the season certainly isn't showing because they are playing so good. And OMT Ares, back-to-back bad series. I feel a slaughter series they were part of, and this can begin to be a worrisome trend for them going forward.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely, and congratulations to Akuma Blades with their 2-0 victory over Omega Titan Esports Ares, man, and
Red for the
showing
prediction.
that that's 2 losses in a row for Omega Titan. I mean, maybe did they just get hot early on and now they're falling down, or are they just starting to be exposed for their playstyles? We'll have to see here.
Yeah, there's always teams like that have a really great start and kind of fall off eventually because of various reasons. We still don't know what is happening to OMT, but they still have time to come back. I think they are one of the teams that are secured for playoffs, so they still have a lot of time to try and cover their weaknesses and try and get back into the groove. But these last two series have been so dreadful for them.
They really haven't. I you gotta wonder if is it they are stumbling or are they going to be, or are other teams starting to figure them out?
Yeah.
And we'll have to see. Like, I'm not sure what the case is, but we'll have to see. But that is going to be it for tonight's broadcast, everybody. On behalf of myself, TDS, Red, and everyone here at Runeterra Academy, we hope that you enjoyed the broadcast and have a fantastic night. But otherwise, we will see you next time when we see you. For me, it'll be next week.
Yeah, more than likely.
All right. Have a great night, guys. Peace.